Hey everyone, and all be all here, and we are in week 3 right now of this second season of the new Grand Arena. Currently, I'm at about 3979 skill rating, and I'm about the 500 rank in the leaderboard right now. But check this out. Over here, guess who's around me right now? We have Gom, who's just about 5 ranks above me. And we also have Zareth over here, who's, let me see if I can show that. Oops. Sorry, just adjusting my camera. There you go. We've got Zareth just below me. So there's a very high chance that me and Zareth or me and Gom might get matched up if we have similar records for the next couple of matches going in. So that is something which will be interesting to see. I don't have much faith in my matches because my last 2 matches are against 2 more opponents, and it's a tough situation to be in, especially if you're outmoded and outrostered like that. But let's go ahead and see how how we do. So let's take a look at our current opponent. So my current opponent is let's see, is Big Chef from the Maw Guild. And I believe this one is the same guild as Arnold. And Big Chef, he's got the same GP as Arnold as well, in fact, about 9.6 million. About 1 point, he's got everything, all the toys, tons of R9s, tons of R8s. So really, really good roster, and it's pretty normal to get these kind of matchups in GAC these days. So I don't mind them at all. It just gives me a chance to see, whether I can punch up or not. Quick comparison with what I have right now. Here you can see there's me and Big Chef over here. There's obviously a big GP difference, about a 1.5 million GP, but that really doesn't matter. It just matters whether you have key characters and how your mods are. Those are the most important things. You can see over here a lot of red on the other side of the comparison. It's got tons of 6 dot mods, more than double of what I have, and also more than double of the number of relics that I have. Much better speed mods as well. Look at the number of plus 25s, about double of what I have. So that's a general theme. When you get matched up with someone from mod, they'll have better mods, they'll have better rosters, but you just need to do what you can to make force them to make errors and mistakes, and then get them while you can. So let's go over and take a look at my current match and see what I've done. All right, so let's review the defenses first. So what I decided to do for this one was I decided to go defense heavy because there was no way that I'm going to stop my opponent from clearing me with a roster like this, and with almost all the characters at R5 and above, mostly R7 to R9. There's no way that I'm going to be able to stop my opponent from clearing me. So the only thing I could do is force them to make mistakes and drop battles, and then somehow clear them with better efficiency than than them. So what I decided to do was I decided to keep 4 GLs on defense, 2 down south and 2 at the back. And down south, let me see. I think I skipped the part where I showed my front zone. Yeah, there you go. So in the front, I kept Lord Vader with SLKR, and then I kept Treya team and a Darth Revan team. All of this I was sure was going to get one shot. The Lord Vader, it's a cheap comp, but my opponent always takes in SLKR Night Sisters, so I just wanted to exhaust that SLKR option, and then it's got. I wanted him to exhaust Jedi on the SLKR squad down south as well. DR he would probably one shot pretty cheaply, and I wasn't sure about the Treya comp as well, but that's what it was. And then at the back, I decided to keep my Ray with the heroes and BB-8, this and with JTR. This one is slightly tricky for C, and then I've got JMK over there as well with R2D2 to hide. And then at the top, I have a few minor squads, nothing really great out here. There's the Iden team, low relic version of the Iden team. I personally feel if you've got low relic troopers like this, Iden is way better on offense. Like this same Iden team can take out R7 relic Kyle Katarn Mon Mothma teams pretty easily. So I would rather save Iden for offense, I think, going forward. And then I've got Mon Mothma over here. I've got I've kept a dash team over here with the Vandor and L3, and since my dash is has got the Omicron, L3 and Vandor will always be prepared, and L3 will always be taunting, Vandor will always be reviving, and I've got a couple of scoundrels over there. They won't really revive from Vandor, but they generate tons of turn meter because they have tons of AoEs. They'll do a lot of crits, and they'll generate turn meter for the team because of Dash's lead ability or unique ability, the one where he gives 2% turn meter for every crit that scoundrels do. So anyway, that team goes fast, and once Boba starts gaining momentum, it can get tricky. So otherwise, nothing much up top. Wanted to save a lot for offense so that I make sure I clear. And then I've got my ships over here, the same two Empire fleets that I usually keep. No surprise there. So my opponent has kept his Darth Revan up north, mostly all R7. So this particular opponent, Big Chef from Mod, does not have Skywalker Starkiller, which is why the Talon is not relicked up. And then he's got a couple of other tricky squads, mostly banner stealing, I think. Nothing too crazy up top. And then down south is where he's got a couple of GLs. SLK, he's got his Lord Vader and JMK, both really tough versions of the team. And then he's got his Dash and then his Mon Mothma squad over there. So let's get started with the South Zone. Now, I kept my gas aura team specifically for the counter to Jedi Master Kenobi. So I've clocked my team. I've made a few videos on this, but I've clocked my team to make sure that I can snipe Cat out. So that's why I decided to go over here. I felt that, two-shotting, I knew it was going to be an efficiency match, but I felt that I could afford a two-shot over here just because I make up more banners in other teams once I have, better teams available. Since I'm not using premier teams to take out the JMK, well, I'm using gas, but I'm not really using a GL, so I can probably get better banners in other areas. So that's what I'm doing over here, just trying to, now that I've sniped Cat, I'm just trying to, hang on, sorry about that. I think I accidentally skipped out of it. Let me go back to the video where I was. Yep. So I sniped Cat, and then I went ahead and timed the battle out. Now it's just a question of taking in your gas after this and getting done with it. So that's this battle. Let's skip ahead to the gas part. All right. So I decided to hold off on the gas for now, and then decided to go ahead with the troopers counter to dash. Now this one it's an Omicron dash, but I felt that troopers should be able to punch through L3 initially. I mean, there is Vandor over there, so she's recovering some amount of protection, but wanted to make sure that I do enough damage to take care of L3 right at the beginning. And managed to land some days, which is really good. So now that the thing has been dispelled, I wanted to make sure I get rid of Vandor so that we don't have any revive shenanigans anymore. And once Vandor was out, then it's a pretty simple job for the troopers to clean up the rest of it. I really felt I wasn't going to need the troopers anywhere else, since I had different plans for the Darth Revan squad up top as well. So I felt this was a good way to go about it. All right, so L3 I usually like to save for the last, but this team was taken care of for 65. Cheap enough. Troopers I don't mind spending up front, just because it allows me to save some tougher teams at the back. So decided to clean up the Jedi Master Kenobi team with gas. This one takes a while, but especially since my gas is not modded for offense, it's modded for defense and protection, tons of protection. So it takes a while, especially if Padme is in there. She gives that extra healing of bonus protection on assists, and these guys do tons of assist calls, both gas who counters as well as ARC Trooper. He has that assist ability as well with the turret. So these guys will take a while to get down. But even a protection and defense modded gas generates tons of offense just because of the amount of buffs that these guys have. So that's what I'm doing right now, just waiting for the right time to drop these guys. The ultimate actually helps over here because the ultimate allows them to ignore taunt, and they sometimes target the clones around gas, and just like that, and it saves my gas from taking the knee a little too early. So it helps to help with the build-up of the damage. Which is why I find this counter so clean. I mean, there's so many ways in which other regular counters can fail. Mirrors can fail at times, especially if you've got Jedi Knight Anakin or some tougher spots in there. Um, Rey has got a high chance of failure as well, Rey with the Jedis. And I think the one counter that I find most consistent is going to be JML with the Jedi. That is, in my opinion, one of the most consistent counters to any comp of JMK that I see over here. They've got tons of survivability, tons of jet damage, especially if your Jedi are R9. But after that, in terms of consistency, I think this Aura Gas team is right up there in terms of consistency. It's a very clean battle. As long as you've got a turn meter loaded straight, you can easily snipe Cat. And once Cat is out, it's a very, very straightforward battle with Gas. So if you're looking for consistency, I would go this way. Otherwise, I think JML is the way to go against JMK squads. I typically struggle with all other comps. Yeah, anyway, so here with the Kyle Katarn, I checked the speeds. Kyle Katarn was slower than my 282 speed Gideon, so I was able to get in front of them and take care of them. This is as long as you've got the speeds right, this should be a pretty simple counter. I probably didn't even need Vader in there. I could have left my Vader in with my Vader, Lord Vader. Maybe even Thrawn. I really don't need a fracture in here. Once a turn meter train gets moving, it should be perfectly fine. So I should have probably just taken an EP, Mara Jade, Gideon, and then a couple of turn meter reducers like Director Krennic and Tarkin. I think that would have been perfectly fine as well. Because once a turn meter train gets rolling, there's nothing to stop these guys. And then my Vader and Thrawn could have probably gone on my Lord Vader team to make it a slightly more trickier for the Night Sisters to take out. All right, so we this battle is taken care of, almost done with it, and then once this is done, then we move on to the final battle to clear what we have in the bottom zone. All right, and the final battle I believe is the Lord Vader battle. So doing pretty okay in terms of banners so far, except for that one deliberate dropped battle. But Lord Vader, this is a slightly trickier comp. There's Thrawn as well as Maul in here. So in these kind of comps, I like to take in Watt along with my Lord Vader. And then and a few supporting Jedi, like Shakti for the cleanse, Hoda for the heal, and Barris for the additional cleanse and heal. Yep, so the very first thing that I do is I heal everyone, or cleanse everyone rather, so that we can start using the assist ability, the lead ability. And my goal over here is not to do damage with the regular abilities. My goal is to reach ultimate as soon as I can. The main goal, in my opinion, is once you reach ultimate ASAP, you have to save your ultimate, or you have to save your ultimate ability for when the enemy Lord Vader does their ultimate. Once they do theirs, then you have to immediately pop your ultimate and cleanse everyone. That's the way to go about this particular counter. Whether using your Watt or not, that's the way to do it. So you can see over here, I'm calling whoever has got highest turn meter. And if you can remember which was the last person who used the lead ability, that's great because we can target them, and then you can be sure that next time the turn comes around, the lead ability will be off cooldown because every time you use it on a person, it reduces their lead ability's cooldown once. So I always like to use it on characters who've just used their lead ability so that I can ensure that my lead ability is always off cooldown. That I think is very, very critical. That allows you to cycle the lead ability faster, generate more damage, and then it also allows you to reach ultimate really fast. So you can see I've reached my ultimate, but I did not pop it. I wait for the enemy Lord Vader to use their ultimate, and then I always use Watt to heal himself because the others can get healed by Jedi Master Luke's ultimate ability. So I'm in a pretty decent position. There's 3 minutes left, and I always like to reduce the or increase the cooldowns on Lord Vader. So you can see over here, I'm taking out Maul first, and then finish off Show Trooper, and then I like to leave Lord Vader for the end. It's just a little more control. It offers you a little more control. Even if you have just 1 minute left, Lord Vader at the end is pretty simple to clean up, especially if you've got decently relic Jedi Master Luke. Gave some survivability to my Watt over there. Again, increase the cooldowns of Lord Vader, and then use the lead ability to take out Show Trooper as much as I can. This should take care of him. There you go. I'm doing about 99k damage with the lead ability, which is good. I've got tons of protection on my Jedi Master Luke. I think that's definitely the way to mod him. Again, increase the cooldowns and then keep 2 minutes left. So just I heal when I can and try to keep getting him down using the lead ability when I can, using the specials from JML when I can, and cleansing when I can. All right, there you go. Almost through. And you can notice over here, I didn't really put Master's Training because I'm so focused on using the lead ability. I think that's just such a better way to control the battle. 62 banners, which is fine against a Maul Thrawn version of that team. I really don't want to use SLKR on those comps anymore because that's anyway going to get fixed, I think, soon. But at the back, this is what I wasn't expecting to see Sith Eternal, but it's a weaker comp of Sith Eternal. There's really no tank in there and not much Jedi, not much not very good Sith. And then I've got an Aura team and a JTR squad. So at this stage, I don't think I have a GL anymore because I've kept 4 GLs on defense and I've already used up my. Oh no, I do have a GL on offense. I think I have a Sith Eternal on offense. Anyway, so my opponent did go and got 1648, Big Chef. So in the front, they lost one battle against the Treya, which was good to see. The R7 Wampa, I think, must have surprised them. But the Treya battle in the front, if you don't want to overcommit, you can make mistakes and drop a battle like my opponent did. And then at the back, 3 battles against Rey. Like I said, there's no way for me to prevent my opponent from clearing. He kept a ton on offense, 3 jails on offense and a lot of other stuff. So did manage to take out my JMK in one shot and had to, multi-shot the Rey. So 3 battles over there. And then up top, he took in 2 battles against the Mon Mothma, which is good to see. My low relic Mon Mothma team. There's absolutely no relics on anyone except for Mon Mothma, but they managed to do a decent job of holding. I think when your opponent loses a few battles and you stretch them, things tend to get slightly tricky for them in other straightforward battles. So, but they did manage to one-shot my ships, which was sad to see. So 1648, I don't have a ton of wiggle room. I've already dropped 1 battle, so I really don't have space to drop any more battles, especially given that ships are still out there, and I might need to, multi-shot over there. So given that it's a relatively weaker Sith Eternal comp, I decided to go in with instead of using my own Sith Eternal solo, I decided to go in with the Grievous squad with Newt. The goal of with this squad is to try to take down Sith Eternal first, try to spread target locks obviously, and try to take down Sith Eternal first, so that you can you can basically take the others out one by one. But in a lot of cases, you might not be able to take Sith Eternal out because your if the others Sith in the team are weak, they might die, and then that'll end up healing the rest of the Sith squad. So my B1 is dazed and stunned and ability blocked, which is not good because ideally you want your B1 to be taking tons of turns. So I'm trying to get rid of Sith Eternal first, um, but he's pretty thick. And here I did the AoE to get an additional turn meter, and then I'm trying to see if I can't hit someone else with target lock, and I managed to get healing immunity, which is great. But did another AoE over here and ended up killing one of the other Sith, which ended up healing Sith Eternal completely. So that was a tough situation to be in. But my team is gaining tons of turn meter, and I am continuing to apply target locks. And again, another weak Sith died, so this guy got healed again. But luckily, with Newt in there spreading extortion, I was able to. I was able to cycle around to his turn again, and that prevented Sith Eternal from using a couple of specials just because he had to dispel extortion not once but twice. Now you can see over here, I've applied healing immunity on him, which is going to prevent him from healing himself up, and I've lost IG, but we are in a pretty decent situation there. That was a pretty critical healing immunity because it prevented Sith Eternal from healing himself and resetting all of my progress. Now, do a basic, take care of Sith Eternal, and now the rest of it is a very, very, very simple cleanup. So I think it would have been a little more tricky if Talon wasn't there. It would have been tricky if Darth Revan and Sith Empire Squad was in there. Even if there was a Sith Empire Trooper in there, especially High Relic one, that might have ended up causing some problems as well. So this is a low banner victory, but at least I managed to get through the Sith Eternal in one shot, because as long as I one shot the rest of the board, I do have a hope of victory. So let's go ahead and take care of a few other squads. I decided to. This is a high relic, a very fast Darth Revan squad. I think 250, 355 or so, plus another 20, and I really didn't have my troopers with me, but I decided to go in with the Sith Eternal over here, and decided to use armor over there. I didn't know whether armor and Sith Eternal alone would be enough, because these guys do ton of damage. They're all R7 at least, and yeah, I wanted to make sure that I complete this battle in one shot, which is why I needed to make sure that I had all the right stacks on Sith on my Sith Eternal Emperor, and I needed to make sure that I was able to survive until at least the ultimate came around. So that's what you see me doing over here. I'm trying to take out. I'm trying to get to my ultimate, take out Bastila Shan Fallen with regular attacks. Tons of banners lost, but one shot is much better than risking a loss against high relic characters. I think I probably would have been fine with just one tank, but that's fine. I mean, I wasn't really bothered about banners at this stage because my opponent had dropped a few battles, so I was okay to one shot this with some loss in banners. And there were two Sith on this team who had ability block on their basic. There's Bastila Shan as well as Talon. So I didn't want my Sith Eternal Emperor to be ability blocked with the team, and then have them completely take me out with regular damage. So that's something that I wanted to avoid. So let's see how many banners we get on this one. There we go. Final, and yep, final ultimate, and we get 53 banners. Really bad, but one shot is better than than anything else. The rest of the teams wanted to, yeah, this one I've done tons of times. This trio, Qui-Gon Jinn, Cam, and Annie, against any combination of BAM teams with Nest, I've not had any problems at all. But you'll see over here something goes wrong over here. This is what I usually do. I save my AoE from Anakin until this guy dies, and there you can see over here what happened was Dengar had his thermals out, and my Anakin, he had healing immunity because of Bam's whistling birds. So Anakin did get a bonus turn when Jedi Knight Anakin when Qui-Gon Jinn died, but his health was in red and the thermals exploded at the very same time, and my Jedi Knight Anakin died, and I didn't get a chance to do my AoE, which would have taken care of this whole team. So that was unfortunate because this was a loss I could not afford because I had a very specific number of losses that I could afford in this team to reach a target of 1650 or so, and I did not need this loss. I could have probably taken in some other team to one-shot it, and this team is now turn meter loaded as well. So I needed to go in there with my Jedi Knight Revan team, which I had saved, and I probably should have used this team right at the beginning. Jedi Knight Revan is a hard counter to BAM teams, any BAM team, and this would have been a much better one shot than taking in Qui-Gon Jinn. So I'll probably not going to risk Qui-Gon Jinn on that anymore, especially if Dengar is in there. If Dengar is not in there, then I think it should be fine. But if Django is in there, like if you've got Django lead or if Django is there as a as a side character, he applies burning, and that also could be problematic because if the BAM goes and applies healing immunity with the whistling birds, and then your Anakin takes a turn and he dies due to burning, that's again going to be a problem. So this team, I think, the Jedi Knight Anakin nuke team, it's okay as long as Dengar or Django is not there. But if there's anyone who can kill Anakin like that after the bonus turn is applied, then I would be very careful about using that particular counter. All right. So this one, yep, this battle goes as expected. I'm just there's a little bit of irritation where the BAM uses damage immunity a few times, but that's not a big deal. You just have to wait it out. This team has got tons of survivability. They've got Jolie for the revive. There's tons of protection regeneration. So I'm just waiting for the damage immunity to come off of BAM, and then I can go and mark him down. And this one is again a very high relic team. Almost everyone is R7, R8, and the stat sharing with Quill at that level makes the team pretty insane. But now the damage immunity is off, so I can go with my own Jedi, target this guy down. Excuse me, and then try to take out the other characters as soon as I can. So now I target down Quill, make sure that he gets taken out so that the stat sharing is not present anymore. That's pretty important. You can't crit him, but with regular damage, he should be pretty easy to take out since my Jedi are pretty high damage dealing ones. All right, now I try to land a big hit on Nest, take her out, and now it's just a question of cleanup and try to recover as much banners as I can because now it has become an efficiency match because of my drop battle. I'm excuse me. I'm being extremely careful in the number of banners that I'm able to get. All right, so this ends up with 44 banners, which is the soft max, I guess. But I should have probably taken this team out right in the beginning. All right, then for the others, I need to one-shot it for decent banners with something decent. I still have my CLS squad, so I use that against the JTR down south. Take out the heroes first. Or in this case, I think, yeah, I do take out the heroes first so that there's none of that unique business happening. Again, R7 heroes take a while to get down, but should be perfectly fine. All right, so get rid of Hero Poe and then get rid of R2D2. And now it's just a matter of making sure the others are cleaned up pretty effectively. Okay, take care of BB-8. And with one final hit, that takes care of JTR. So 64 banners. I'm trying to do as well as I can in terms of banners because this is going to go down to the wire. All right, let's take care of the other squads, and then we can take care of ships. So I decided to go with a Maul lead against the enemy Mandalorian squad. Um, Now, because I'm going up against a Mandalorian squad, the enemy Bo-Katan also gets um, the, um, the Mandalorian buff. That means that they also will start taunting, which is it's a little inconvenient because you don't really want the bouncing taunt, but that's just the reality of um, going up against a Mandalorian squad with their own Maul lead Mandalorian squad, because they will also get that Mandalorian buff and the taunt will keep juggling around. So not ideal, but I think I have enough. I have more damage from my Maul lead Mandalorian squad than the enemy Mandalorian squad. So hopefully I'm able to get decent banners with this one. I've already taken out a couple of characters, and now I need to just take out the final two, and then we should be good to go. Yeah, these bouncing taunts are really, really irritating, but that's fine. I think because of the fact that we are doing so many assist calls, we have ended up gaining a decent amount of protection back, especially with Bo in there. All right, so we are at decent full health and full protection. Just need to take out the final couple of characters, and then we're good. Yeah, this Mandalore thing is an interesting buff. It's an interesting mechanism. I don't really know how best to use it, um, but I think it helps if you kill the character with Mandalore. I guess I think then that ends up giving a couple of your characters on your team the Mandalore buff. But anyway, that's for another time. 65 banners there. Again, good outcome. Now against the crew squad, I decided to take in my Bad Batch, and this one is it's a very substandard crew squad, so it's a pretty easy victory over here. You just dispel the debuffs, give them all healing immunity, daze, and then just take care of them. There's no red or Hux in here, so there's really nothing much to worry about. But all you need to do is keep them stunned and in check, and then it's a pretty simple battle. So I'm trying to do what I can to get maximum banners out here. There we go. Almost done. And this should give full banners. I could have probably undersized this with 4 team members instead of no Omega in there, but that's fine. All right. Now for ships, I believe my opponent has got again, just like me, 2 Empire fleets. There's a Empire with Gauntlet, highly relic Gauntlet, and then there's the Executor fleet. So let's take out the final battle down south, see how much we need for fleets, and then go from there. So against this squad, I decided to go in with I still had my BAM. I decided to keep BAM on offense this time. So just decided to overkill it with that because that's the best squad I have left. BAM I'm really liking on offense quite a lot. It gives you tons of flexibility. He can be taken out so easily these days on defense. Geos take care of him pretty easily. Geos and Gideon. You've got Aura Singh who can take care of that squad pretty easily for max banners. So it's really losing its charm on defense, and on offense it can do so much more. I mean, it ends with really decent banners on a lot of different squads. You can pair him with Dash, or you can pair him with Ray or any other good scoundrel squad to end up with decent banners on offense as well. And especially if you've got your Quill modded for a decent amount of speed, you can get ahead of a lot of other teams, and you can give a lot of turn meter to your whole team to end up going first. So I think from now on I might just decide to keep my BAM team on offense. It's just so much more flexibility. Clean 65 over there. Now, at this point of time, I did some calculation to figure out exactly how much I need in fleets in order to be able to win this match, because I've already dropped a couple of battles. So in fleets, I needed about 107 or 109 or something like that in order to win. That means I needed to one-shot both the fleets, in fact, because that's an average of about 60, 65, and I couldn't really afford a loss in there. So what I decided to do was I decided to go ahead and use I take out the Empire fleet first with my own Galactic Republic, because I needed to make sure that this was a one shot. Because if I can get 70 banners on this fleet, then I only need to get 50, 55 in the other fleet. And even if I get low banners with my executor counter, I might be able to pull it off. So it's coming down to the wire, but I needed to make sure that I win this match in one shot. And this is a slightly tricky comp of an Empire fleet, because it's got Gauntlet in there in the starting lineup, which can make it really, really tricky for negotiators. Now, this is a really fast Gauntlet. The effective speed is 216 or 218, so it'll definitely go before any of my ships go. I think it's all Relic 5 or 7, Relic 5 or 7 GAR and Imperial Super Commander. So it's a really fast GAR ship. And what typically happens in a negotiator battle against a maxed GAR ship in the starting lineup is the GAR ship is going to go first and apply buff immunity on your Anakin. Now, that's going to prevent him from going into stealth. It's going to prevent him from getting Valor, and it's going to make it easier for the enemy fleet to take out your Anakin in that situation. So what you need to do when you're countering a maxed Empire fleet like that with a really solid gauntlet in the starting lineup is you need to go with Ahsoka in the starting lineup. Because in that case, what happens is Ahsoka gets targeted by the gauntlet for buff immunity, and she can just cleanse it on her first turn. So there you go. Your Jedi Knight Anakin is safe. Ahsoka gets targeted, and what you need to do is you need to start applying buff immunity, healing immunity on your the TIE bomber. And then over here, once I get the mass assist, I immediately focus down on Darth Vader, take him out. And because buff immunity was on TIE bomber, he ended up not taunting, so I could save that. The next target is to take out Gauntlet, because he can get quite irritating with the heals and all of that. So TIE bomber has gone ahead and dispelled everything, given me burning. So I need to bring in my Plo to clean some of that stuff off, and then I give the taunt back to Y-wing because I need him to be taunting at all times. It's become a little tricky over here since Emperor Shuttle makes it really difficult to get rid of the TIE bomber, but I need to get rid of the TIE bomber as soon as I can. Preferably, I would have liked even the Gauntlet to be out by this time, but it's high relic. It was really difficult to get him out. So applied healing immunity, and now the Gauntlet is open. So I need to be able to go after the Gauntlet and take him out. I get Rex's arc in there because I need to be getting as much turn meter as much protection recovery as I can. So dispel that, and then now I need to go after Gar and take him out. So he's finally taken out, so it'll become a little easier to clean up now. And now I just take out Emperor Palpatine because he makes the TIE bomber really, really tanky. Another burning going out, not ideal. I'm trying to maximize banners over here, and these ships are just bleeding my banners. So luckily I was able to take all the key ships out, but now I need to use Rex to get as many banners back as I can. I think I lost protection on 3 ships, but I ended up with 70 banners. So this is okay. I think I need to get about 50 banners or so in the fleet to win. So I need to make sure it's a one-shot, because even a dirty one-shot will give me like mid 55 or something like that, but that's not enough buffer for victory. So I need to be really, really clean in this battle. So I decided to take in my full fleet because it needs to be a one shot. So I got all of my Separatist fleet as well as the Old Republic, and I need to play this really, really carefully. It's going to come down to a very, very close match. So do the special on Houndstooth, and then I always like to do a AoE over here because I like to save the cleanse for when the debuffs are on my Hyena bomber. So my TIE fighter is down, and then I apply some debuffs over here, and then I get spy in, and hopefully I land the target on the right character, and I do end up getting it on Xanadu Blood, which makes it easier. And there was no major dodges over here, so that made this fight a little easier. Now I need to go ahead and start delaying and waiting for my ultimate. So here I cleanse. This is the reason I saved it, because I can now cleanse the target lock and the breach and all that other nonsense. And then once there's no breach on me, when I get my my ship out Even Hawk, there's going to be no taunt on Houndstooth, just because I was able to cleanse everything off my ships. So I try to start going after Mandalorian, the Razor Crest, because I need to make sure that I'm able to at least take him out. My ships are getting targeted. I don't have high relics on my Geo, so this is a bad situation to be in. But I'm trying to. I think the next turn is my ultimate. I'm trying to stall as hard as I can. So here I use the second special in order to get the ability back up. What do you call it? The ability which prevents the target lock. And now, the ships are so tanky. I mean, A, it's an R9 Piet, so naturally they're faster. And B, all of the ships are R8, R9, all of the bounty hunters. So it's taking so much time to get down. Any other fleet, I would have probably been taking them down by now. This Razor Crest would definitely have been down by now. But R8 bounty hunters, it's just so difficult to get him down. So got my Sunfac in there to stun, and then I wanted to make sure I take out IG in one shot, go after Mandalorian, take that ship out, and then I need to make sure that I get rid of IG-11, because that's going to be critical. Now I can't delay any much longer, because this ship is very close to the ultimate, and it's going to be using the ultimate almost any moment now. And I need to take out at least a couple of important ships over here. Luckily, I was able to take out Bosk as well, but I'm running out of time. It's more and more looking like it's going to be a two-shot, so I need to make sure I clean up as many ships as possible so that when I take in another fleet, I do a decent job in the cleanup. And you can see over here, Executor reaches his ultimate, wasn't able to take out the ships in time, so that's the difference that high relic bounty hunter ships makes. It's like any other fleet, any other normal fleet, I would have probably been able to get through them by now, but this fleet just is so survivable. R9 Piet as well as R8 and R9 bounty hunters, I just wasn't able to take it down in one shot. So unfortunate, but the main ships are down. No Razor Crest, no Houndstooth, no Xanadu Blood. So I taken my rebels, and I need to one-shot this for at least 50 banners. I need to two-shot it at least for 50 banners. So I'm taking in as few ships as possible. I don't want to take in any more reinforcements. I probably could have done even with one reinforcement, but in case the battle dragged on, I didn't want to lose because I had less reinforcements in there. So I took just a couple of reinforcements with my rebel fleet, and I think the Master Assist was already exhausted by then. So I'm trying to do the best that I can. Yep, there's a heal ability over there, and now they've ability blocked my Biston, but I'm trying to take care of whatever ships are low in health right now. So big AoE on IG-88, and this should take care of it. Yep, I didn't need any reinforcements. So ended with 49 banners, and let's see what our margin was of the final battle. So I ended up with 1655 versus 1648. Extremely close match. ended up winning by 7 banners. So this was an extremely satisfying victory. It could have gone either way. One lost battle here or there, and things could have gone either way. But this was a good victory because it was against a really big opponent, a more opponent. And the thing with going up against opponents like that is, you win some, you lose some. You'll lose most of the time because my finals opponent was also a Maw guy, and I was able to make it close. I prevented him from clearing me, and but I lost by less than 40 banners. So that is an unfortunate outcome. So out of the two Maw matchups that I had this week, I was able to win one, and I had to lose one. But I'm perfectly fine with that because even the one that I lost, I made it close, and it was a pretty close outcome. So I'm feeling glad that I'm able to punch up to rosters like that. And if you look at my performance this season, I've been averaging about 2-1 every single week. Right now, with 3 weeks completed, I'm at about 6-3. So even if I go 1-2 or 0-3 next week, I'll still have a pretty decent record. 6-6 or 7-5. Most likely, I might end up going 2-1 next week. In which case, I'll end up with 8-4, which is way above my expectations. I'll be more than happy even with the 7-5 if I go 1-2 next week. So that's ultimately my goal in terms of the where I end up. So if I end up going 8-4, with a 2-1 next week, then I'll probably end up somewhere in the 300s range in ranking, which I'm perfectly fine with as long as I'm in the top 1,000, top 500. I think I'm punching way above my weight, and I'm performing perfectly okay because I get to hang out with all these cool rosters, and I get to play with all these more guys and everyone with like such advanced rosters than me. So that's always a fun feeling to have because it's always more fun to punch up. Anyway, that's all for this week. I'll probably not be able to upload videos for the next couple of weeks because I'm actually going on a trip to Disneyland in California with my family. We've got a midwinter break for my kid, and we're going to be spending a week over there. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be an awesome time. So I won't be available for the next couple of weeks, so won't be uploading my final week GAC battles. But I probably won't even have time to do any scouting or do much of my battles. I might have to just speed run through my battles, which is why I think a 0 or 3 and or a 1 and 2 is a very high likely outcome because I just won't have time next week for my battles. But in any case, I will catch you guys in a couple of weeks. Hope you all are having a great GAC season. Take care and happy gaming, and may the force be with you.